is enough, and it's time for a change!
It is Sunday, and you're listening to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
Give me a hell yeah!
Get some love!
Oh yeah!
With Kinny, Killa.
Hey yo!
We're in the big D tonight, baby, and we are live! Woo!
I'm the gal them sugar shook.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best ever will be! Cause that's the bottom line! The Stone Cold said so!
Hello everyone and welcome to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast. It is Sunday, it's episode 64 and I am the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the one man with no Instagram, Kinny Killa. And now I am actually always kicking it back again with the hashtag tech guy, the gal them sugar shooks.
Yo, yo, yo.
It's been a hot minute.
Exactly. 2 episodes out, the show's gone to the fucking dogs.
Oh, well, you know what?
Cancel missing persons report.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be better.
You have to take you off the side of the milk cartons.
And people, today we have the return of the head of fan relations, Mr. James Powers.
Hello.
Also, master of the top rope elbow, Mr. Steve Dawson.
God save our queen.
And the returning Nick Meltzer Magee.
It's time to defeat the machine today.
Nick, I don't quite get where you're getting this from. I don't understand I don't quite understand. Like, are you talking about James? Because you can't be talking about me and Sugar. Because hey, we spreading nothing but positivity.
Maybe that's the way Kim Jong-il feels. Maybe he doesn't feel he's a dictator. Maybe you just don't know, Kinny, that you're actually fucking Kim Jong-il Jr.
All right, explain yourself, Shugs. Explain yourself, because well, it's me out here doing shit by myself, all right, and you ain't doing shit, right? But editing this motherfucker, right? Listen, I've never missed a show. Say that shit. Say that shit. 64 weeks in a fucking row.
How many of those 64 have you edited?
How many 64 have I edited? Okay.
Yeah.
How many of these followers that were following us right now have you got out of 700 and blah, blah, blah?
About at least,
exactly.
At least 500 listening to my chocolate voice.
How many of the interviews have you got? How many of the guests you get on the show?
Here we go. There we go.
Exactly.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Kenny. You're part of the machine. You're like the John Cena podcast. You're a dictator. You just don't get it yet.
Okay.
You want everything to be hunky-dory and everything, and today I'm going to put it into it.
All right, that's cool. We'll see what happens in a couple of weeks when my baby comes and Shugs takes charge. We'll see, innit? We'll see. We'll see, right? So we'll see who's guests on, because obviously I've sorted out the guests already, so Shugs is lucky in that point. Let's see what the run sheet looks like. Let's see how he can handle the shit by himself without me on the show, yeah? Boom. I've had to do it. Let's see how Shugs feels. There we go. Anyway, Nick, you're going to face off against Steve Dawson today, beat the clock. You run your gums before, and you got got. Now you get got. That's what happened. You run your gums, and you got got.
You know it was a fluke last time, right? You know it was a fluke.
Well, listen, Steve is all about revenge. He lost to James before. He came back, took it down. So, hey, we're just going to have to see what happens here. Steve, enjoying the World Cup?
Loving it. Really, really good start. I was loving Costa Rica yesterday. And Holland are playing well. It's looking really good.
James, thanks for having me on the show early on in the week.
You're very welcome, sir. I will be having you on again, and hopefully Shugs will join us this time.
Okay, no problemo. Shugs, hey man, you've been partying it out. You've been drunk. You've been all over the shop, bro. And now you're back. Just glad to have you back.
Yeah. I went to Magaluf on stag weekend, so. I wasn't here for like 2 weeks ago, and then last week I went out, and like when I opened my eyes, all I wanted to do last week was just close them or like cut off my head or do something, and strapping on a pair of headphones was the last thing I would be able to do. So yeah, I had to bail last minute.
That wouldn't work well with the amount of noise. That wouldn't work well. So, but you're back. That's all that matters. Got my right hand man back here today. It's all good. So let's just quickly comment about the releases, Shugs. We've had 11 releases. Can you name them off the top of your head?
Jinder.
Don't hinder.
The Scottish guy.
Yeah, Drew.
Drew McIntyre.
Oksana.
Yeah.
Brodus.
Yeah.
Black Ref.
Yeah.
Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah.
Xavier Woods. Please.
Wishful thinking.
No, that's six. Six I got.
Yeah. Well, there's who else is there? There's help me out, boys. There's
JTG.
JTG.
Oh, how could I forget JTG?
What? He only got
forget-
released after fans pointed it out to WWE still working there because he wasn't on the original list.
No. Who else we got? Yoshitatsu.
And Camacho.
Yeah, Camacho.
Yeah,
Teddy.
that's it.
Teddy Long. Holla, holla, holla.
No more tag team matches, player.
It's like, and then we got 1.5 B. Like, that's all we got left now. 1.5
Oh, 3MB.
Don't forget Evan Bourne.
B. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he was the best one anyway, isn't he? He's the best one. Heath Slater.
Yeah.
And Yoshitatsu as well.
Oh my god. The funny thing is, this on the latest tapings of NXT, they were all shouting out. They were doing chants for every single release wrestler.
A JTG chant. I gotta watch that.
I know. But the funny thing is, one thing I realized is the only reason he was still employed is because he wasn't answering his phone. He wasn't answering his phone. Then he got a booty call for, I got to answer this shit. And it happened to be WWE. There you go. Pink slip. Sorry about your damn luck.
I think Brodus was a bit of a surprise because he's one of those people you thought maybe they could always do something, but apart from the others, they've just been disappointments. They tried to push Jinder and it didn't really work, and then Drew McIntyre hasn't had a push for a while, and Oksana, she's a terrible wrestler.
She's just hitting people in the face.
Yeah, like
But she can still wrestle better than Eva Marie.
Oh.
And she's still got a job.
Rose Clay was not really a surprise because he was terrible in the ring himself. I mean, Vince was not high on Brodus from the beginning with. That's the only reason they bounced him down to NXT because he was a horrible wrestler. Vince is actually right about that one.
Yeah. Well, it's just been an interesting week, but let's just get into the show, people. Twitter, please follow us. That's at Sunday Segue. Spell SEGUE. Email us, please, to sundaysegue@gmail.com. Please like us on Facebook. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please rate us on iTunes. We need to know how many people is rating us. Podomatic, Stitcher, Mixcloud. Don't forget to download that Double Twist Player, Sunday Segue app as well. It's apps.appmakr.com. Right, so time for the shout-outs. Again, we've had more followers this week. So, shout-outs again if I miss you out. Sorry about your damn luck, but I'll get you in next week. So, shout-out to Offshoot Radio. Shout-out to World Wrestling Alliance. Shout-out to Slade. Shout-out to Slate. Michael Magnuson, indie wrestler from America. Shout-out to Trask. Also, shout-out to Robbie Lawler. Shout-out to Roger. Now, Roger is a big alpha female fan. Shout out to Richard Dubney. Shout out to Critical Bill. Ryback Rage. Edward Wise. Shout out to @John Feather PA. The Beast Incarnate. Amanda J, all the way from America. Aussie. All the way from Australia. Aussie chick. And John Redfern. For the rest of you, I will shout you out next week. Shugs, any shout outs? Nah. James?
Yeah, Mr. President 92, and a shout out to myself because I am that awesome.
Steve?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to the Irish commodity Vicky Ells.
And Nick?
I don't got none.
You ain't got none. Okay. All right. I want to give a shout out to our partners. Max Wrestling Magazine. Giving a shout out to them boys. Doing big things. They got the latest June issue out with Brian Kendrick. Also a special supplementary issue with our interview with the alpha female. So I want to give a shout out to Mr. Craig Phoenix and Dazzy Brand, who's out, gone on holiday now. So Max Wrestling Magazine, make sure you check them out. They're our official partners, people. Wicked magazine. Right, let's go into Raw. No messing about. Segment 1, the authority Shugs, Steph and Triple H. Now, I just want to holler at you about the heel tactics, okay, and getting heat, because just look at the lengths, yeah, they went to get big heat. They were amazing.
Yeah, I just think that they were really like laying it on thick. You know, they were making sure they were getting in all the digs at everyone, digs at Brian, digs at Brie Bella, just to get the crowd really like riled up. You know, rather than just they could have just come out and just say, you know, we're making the decision, but they were making sure they like talk shit about everyone while they were doing it.
It was it was perfect. The way they brought in Brie Bella into it, like.
Well, because that's one of the things. That's one of the things that, like, us looking at it from the outside and saying, you know, while it didn't make sense for her to get fired, they're actually saying, yeah, well, she wasted. Why did she bother get fired when they stripped them anyway? Mm-hmm. You know. So yeah, it does make sense. They're trying to fill in the usual creative loopholes that they have.
Yeah, true.
To make you think like they've had these good ideas from the beginning.
Steph is outclipping Triple H right now in the heel rankings. By far, she's just. I mean, I suppose because she's coming out like twice a night, probably just running the shit up. So, she's going in. But James, this Bryan injury has kind of like made this a unique situation for WWE. Like, what's your thoughts on whether you think WWE would use this situation to like make a new start or settle, you know, with an old stopgap?
I think they're going to go with what they know. They'd already said realistically they made the decision. And Money in the Bank is live from Boston, Massachusetts, so we all know where it's going.
Oh my God!
Steve, the champion is here.
Yeah, Steve, you wanna add anything about this segment?
No, I think everyone's covered what I think. I like the and Steph said you can't expect an A+ recovery from a B+ player. I just love the whole B+ line that's come across in the last few months. It just really rolls everyone up. I love it.
Annoys me something chronic. Because if Brian's a B+, Triple H must be a D+ because he was out nearly a year, wasn't he?
Well, it's them heel tactics. Nick, do you want to add anything?
Really don't have too much about it. You kind of saw this coming. Part of me wish they would have done this a couple of weeks ago because I was worried that they may diminish the WWE World Heavyweight Championship by dragging us on too long. Because we all know with the type of surgery Brian had, he was not able to compete from the begin with. So I say Triple H has done a great job rousing the crowd up. And I agree with you, Kenny. Stephanie has definitely been playing her heel role in the last several weeks. So even though it's from Boston and we all know Cena just might walk out with the title, I have a feeling there's going to be a swerve at Money in the Bank.
I always look forward to Money in the Bank. I mean, I was watching CM Punk versus John Cena the other day just to that was so good. That's the whole thing behind it. CM Punk, you know, leaving with the title, yada yada. Anyway, that's past stuff. But yeah, I love Money in the Bank. All right, let's move on to the next segment, which was Sheamus versus Bad News Barrett and Nick. I mean, what a match to start Raw off with, man. Nice back and forth match. You know, just with the crowd. The crowd were amazing, just completely invested in this match.
Yes, they were. This was an awesome, hard-hitting match. It gave you the importance of, man, this is a big deal to get into the Money in the Bank World Heavyweight Championship match. I mean, these two have definitely set the bar basically for the entire night. It was a great match. My only fear with Wade Barrett right now is in the last 2 or 3 weeks he's been jobbing lately, and this has been the trend with Wade Barrett. They always hype him up. They always give him a championship. Then he starts jobbing out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And we're starting to see that trend all over again. And I hope this time they stop with that trend, but it seems like we're going down that path with Wade Barrett all over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one with Barrett, Steve. I mean, were you surprised how long it went, and the outcome? And, you know, like Nick was saying, do you think that this loss will mess up Barrett's momentum?
I don't know. He started off really well, and he's just sort of gone into sort of the Big E sort of phase at the moment, where he's just sort of like there and he's fighting, but he's losing far too many matches. But I thought it was a really good match. Didn't get into it much at the start, but the second half of the match he really picked up, and I think they worked quite well together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of their best matches. And they didn't hype up the champion versus champion, which I'm so happy with, because I hate when they do that. I hate when they do that, because it's just like, it's just, yeah. But anyway, they didn't do it, and it just made for a better match because of it. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. Anyone else want to say, got any other notes on it?
Nah.
No. All right, cool. Let's move on. Segment 3, Rusev versus Ryder. Now, Shivslana comes out, busting some kayfabe Russian. Shows footage of Obama working out, Putin on the horse with his shirt off. Did you think this add anything to the gimmick or the angle?
Yeah, I just think it's they're using whatever was in the news like recently. They not something that was on the news like a month ago and then they bring it out. Something actually quite recent, and it plays in well with their angle. I think it's good.
Was you surprised Ryder wasn't part of these these people getting fired?
Well, I suppose if you think about it, we always say about the roster's not very deep, and then they've just managed to fire 10 people who are just completely insignificant on the show anyway. So they need someone out there to job, because jobbers don't really exist. So what they do is they squash talent instead of having people who are there just to job.
It makes him too much money, Ryder. That's why they went to sack him, because he's got all WWE YouTube shows and that what he does for them, that Ice Age free, and that's why they went to sack Ryder. Yeah. Merchandise sales are through the... He's got an higher merchandise sale rate than flaming John Cena, near enough, in certain states. People hate John Cena in certain states, like Texas.
Yeah. In about 52 of them.
James, quick squash match for Rusev. That mid-air super kick is... Oh, man, I mentioned it on your show. That mid-air super kick is crazy. I'm hearing Mark Henry feud is coming next. Do you think that's the right way to go?
It depends if it's a straight feud or they're just going to let him try and squash Mark Henry. Because like this was that Ryder, I saw that match twice on the European tour, and I don't think either time that it lasted more than 60 seconds. It's like Big E, that is something that could have gone 15, 20 minutes, but yet they're having him squash somebody like Big E. So they're going to do the same with Mark Henry.
I hope not. I hope not. I think Mark Henry's got a nice little, feud in him with Rusev, but
Wait, Kenny, I got to stop you. I got to stop you right there. This is the same Mark Henry who got destroyed by freaking Brock Lesnar earlier in the year multiple times. Mark Henry is not going to bring nothing. It's not going to elevate Rusev whatsoever. This is basically just another Negro for Rusev to slay on his way to the top for a potential feud with John Cena. Because I dub Rusev as the Negro Slayer. Because that's basically what he is.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. But no, what I meant was Mark Henry he can actually have, he can hold that feud okay to make sure that Rusev can, do something for the next couple of weeks or couple of months or whatever. I don't think that they'll let him just fuck up Mark Henry and then that's the end of it, because then there's not going to be nowhere else for Rusev to go, So.
Well, a picture idea that I threw out to somebody on Twitter a couple of weeks ago was, well, let's just say he gets through the feud with Mark Henry for let's say for about a month, okay?
Yep.
The next obvious opponent would be someone like Sheamus.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine if Rusev beat Sheamus and become the United States champion.
That would be the best. That is the best way for them to go. Like the whole USA thing, make him have the title. Heat, draw heat. I doubt he'll ever get Sergeant Slaughter heat, but just get some heat from that,
And rename the United States Championship.
Yeah, the Russian Championship. That'll be so true. All right, let's go to the next segment, which was Goldust and the Pushback, R-Truth versus Axelback. Steve, storyline is so bland. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, what do you think of Cody? What do you think Cody needs to do to Goldust to make a massive impact once he does turn? Or do you reckon, that time's kind of gone?
It's just you can all see where it's going, can't we? I mean, in a couple of weeks, Cody will say, you haven't won with any of the partners that I've given you. It's obvious that you were the weak link in this team, not me, and that's going to be the basis for it. And it's just so flat, and it should have been done at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They've totally missed the boat with it, and I'm just not interested in it at all. Which is a shame, because I've loved the Brotherhood since in the last year or so.
Yeah.
And for this feud to be so flat is a real shame.
I mean, it was. They were going so strong for about a month or 2 months. Like, they were headlining the show. They were the best wrestling on the show, you know? And now look at them. It's a sad sight. Quick question to you, Nick, though. Even when Cody does turn, where does he go after?
You seen the way Cody Rhodes been dressing backstage, you would think he's auditioning to be a new member of Evolution, for crying out loud. You know, I really don't know. I honestly can't give you a real strong opinion on that. I really don't know where they could go with him. I mean, when he was a heel, he was arguably the hottest mid-card / semi-main eventer on the entire roster, and they basically didn't do nothing with him, especially with his last IC title run. I mean, I don't know what they could do with him. I mean, the WWE is so somewhat heel heavy. Is there room for him to do anything? Because, as I said to someone a couple of weeks ago, they really don't have a mid card. They really don't. Either you're a main eventer or you're nothing in the WWE, and there's really nothing for him to do. It's kind of sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I wish that there was more for Cody, and hopefully they have an idea. But like Shugs always say, they book week to week. They just they don't have a clue what is going on, or they don't have any plans really for any mid carders. So yeah, sad time for Cody. All right, next segment we have the Shield fucking up Free MB, the lasting scene of Free MB. Shield basically come out and deals with Free MB. Once they're done, Ambrose grabs the mic and decides to bust a Hannibal Lecter-like promo on Rollins. Oh god, this guy.
Yeah, it's just, I suppose they just like sort of taking his fucking stabilizers off now, you know, and they're just letting him just go, like, do you know what I mean? This is what we've been wanting since the beginning, you know, because if you see any of his like YouTube clips or any of his promos from like the indies, this is what he's like. And then I suppose they've just let him, you know, just sort of like run free now. He's going to get more talking time because there's one less person in the Shield, and I thought it was like a great promo.
It's like they allowed him to stop taking his pills. And he's just gone on one. Roman Reigns, on the other hand, was okay. You know, he was good up until the point where he decided to say, "You don't tug on Superman's cape, and you don't piss in the wind." Bruv, which wind have you been pissing in? It's don't spit in the wind. Like, but nevertheless.
To be fair, it might be pissing the wind in Samoa.
Maybe. Who knows? You know.
He mentioned Superman's cape, and I automatically thought, what's he mean? When did he pull on Cena's cape?
I mean, but all in all, the promo was okay from him. I just love the fact that he looks straight into the heart. I love when he looks into the hard camera and just goes for it, you know, just goes for it. It seemed like there may be a little bit of ad-lib in there as well. So, you know, it's good. He's got a bit more work to do in that sense, if he is going to go on his own like that. But it was just nice to see them two in the ring, you know, busting some promos, beating up guys, showing that, you know, they're going to deal with Rollins. And then this time, Rollins was taking the standing backstage watching TV position this week.
Yeah, in an all-black suit.
I think we've got to do a count now and see how many weeks in a row someone is going to stand backstage and watch from a screen, like
you know what I think it is, honestly? I think they've probably got to deal with a company that sells TVs. Promote their TVs on screen.
Yeah, you have Michael Cole and bloody JBL talking about, this week we're sponsored by Panasonic or Sony or something like. Alright, let's move along ever so swiftly. Next segment we had the Usos versus Fandango and Damien Sandow. Nick, what the fuck did I see on my TV?
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Kenny. I didn't even watch the match. I was doing an interview for my podcast. I don't even know what happened.
Oh, okay. Steve, what the fuck did I see on my TV?
You saw Damien Sandow in a leotard, waving a ribbon about.
Are you serious?
Yes. And what they call it? Interpretive dance?
Yeah. Oh man, poor Damien.
Shugs, I know you got something to say on that.
I just thought, like, every week they give Sandow this shit, but I still think that he just, like, does it well. Mm-hmm. You know, he seems to just, like, embrace it. His hair was just, like, off the hook. Just the way he had it just styled up on the top. And he was just, when he come in the ring, the crowd were loving him. You know, the crowd were chatting for him, and, like, they just couldn't wait for him to get in the ring. So, you know, that's what they want you to do. You know, that's what they say backstage, you know, if we give you lemons, they want you to make lemonade, and he's making the best out of what the bullshit they're giving him.
Yeah, Sandow.
Getting over by being given shit things to do every week.
And I suppose if that's all you're given, that's all you got to do. It's like a test. You give it to you. If you whine and complain, you're out the door. If you don't and just get along with it, you got to earn your stripes. So I suppose,
and it's better than not being on TV at all, I suppose, as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just hard to watch sometimes, though. Seeing him come out like that and just thinking, okay, who is this for? Is this for me? Or is this for kids? Or is this for no one? Is this just to send Sandow out there and do Triple H burial services? Like, what, What?
Come on, let's face it, he obviously tried it on with Steph. He must have done something along those lines because Triple H is burying him.
He's been drinking the same Ziggler juice. That's what he's been drinking.
It's kind of sad watching the death of someone's career, and this guy has so much potential of being a main eventer. Since he's cashed in Money in the Bank over a year ago, it has just went completely downhill for the guy.
Oh, good. All right, so we're going to go on to the next segment, which was Bo Dallas versus Xavier Woods. So before we go into anything, Shugs, just play my music, please. Just play my music. Bo Dallas, yeah? I've had enough now. That's it. That's it now. All right, I gave him some time because Shugs liked him and said he was sick. I gave him some time and thought he was all right. This guy is fucking wet. This guy is so shit. He looks shit. He can't, his promos have gone backwards and he can't wrestle in the ring at all. This guy is so dud. It is unbelievable. I cannot take it anymore. You have to believe you are not Kurt Angle, all right? And you can't even wear Kurt Angle's, you can't even hold Kurt Angle's jockstrap, let alone even try to even remotely do this gimmick. Well, it's one thing doing it on NXT, but it's another thing coming up, yeah, and doing the same thing and just not getting across. And the worst thing about it is you're doing this thing while your belly is flabbing, fucking, it's like jiggling around while you're running around doing that thing. And I just can't stand him now. I cannot stand this guy. I just can't stand. He just looks like a generic wrestler. He looks like a generic dude. Worse than Adam Rose. Worse. He's just got white trunks. If you took that Bo Leaf t-shirt off him, what is he? Nothing. He looks like Barry Horowitz. Another Barry Horowitz. That's what he looks like. And no, don't pat yourself on your back because you don't deserve it. Right, Shugs. I ain't even spoken to you yet about Dallas since, because obviously you've either been sunbathing or bathing in a sick bowl. So what's your thoughts on this dude?
I think he's doing all right. I think he's come up, and like we're saying, it's the transition of the gimmick that needs to be better, and I think they needed to have him doing more stuff backstage before he ever got in the ring, just being an idiot. So like on Smackdown, we had the pushback coming out, singing "What's Up," and Bo Dallas is in the ring trying to dance and singing "What's Up" as well with the crowd, with that big stupid smile on his face, and that was really good because it just makes him look like an idiot because he can't dance and he's just jigging along with it and he's like "What's up," made in the words, and that was really good. So I just think that we know there's a transition problem. That's what the problem is. I don't think the problem is with the gimmicks because he was big in NXT, so was Adam Rose, so was Emma, so was Paige, and none of them have really made the impact they wanted. So it's the way they're bringing them up is the problem, not the performers.
Okay, on that side, yeah. All right, put that to one side.
Let me chime in real quick.
All right, go for it.
All right, the reason there's a transitional problem because you have to ask an average WWE fan, how many of them actually watch NXT before the WWE network? How many casual fans actually had access to watch NXT on a weekly basis? Really none. So of course there will be some transitional problems with the NXT guys being called up and trying to relate to the fans here on the main roster. It's going to be a problem. And as far as Bo Dallas is concerned, his bigger problem is he needs one good promo to basically explain the whole Bo Leave gimmick. He has not been that opportunity to really explain his gimmick, explain his purpose. Why are you here? What's your long-term goals? Tell us a little bit more about you. Because last time I remember Bo Dallas, he was the guy that was in the Royal Rumble a year ago, and who got buried by Wade Barrett every week. Heck, he got buried by Wade Barrett at a house show that I went to a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also the thing with Paige, she's not your typical diva, so it's gonna be hard for her to relate because she can actually wrestle, for crying out loud. And Adam Rose, politics is keeping Adam Rose down. If you've been reading the news lately, because Kevin Dunn really don't like him.
Oh my God! Don't even get me. Don't even listen. I went off on Kevin Dunn on James's show, and I'm not wasting my breath on that fool no more because he's missing all camera shots and everything because this guy.
I know.
Anyway, but yeah, putting that to one side, Bo Dallas. Okay, we've got two components. We've got the gimmick, and then we've got the in ring thing. Okay, and his in ring is not up to par. Seeing as how long, right, he's been with WWE for and being in NXT for. Yeah, he was out for a while and stuff, but they gave him time to come back, and he still returned while it was still FCW. But I wish there was more than just the gimmick. I wish there was more than just that, because there's one thing with the gimmick, but then I'm not just watching it from the gimmick. I'm watching the matches, and the matches just don't transcend. Like, for him to be going to Kofi Kingston and shaking his hand and saying, "Oh, you done well." Because if I was Kofi Kingston, I would be pissed if I'm losing to this guy that can't wrestle, who's not a better wrestler than me. But either way,
But you know what, Kenny? They will book it that way to where if he shakes somebody's hand, they get pissed off at him. That will give him more heat.
Yeah,
they will book it that way. Think about it.
Finish at Stratisfaction, that's all it's hard to say, isn't it?
He's got the Stratisfaction as a finisher.
That is a stupid finish for Bo Dallas. It makes him look weak. I wish they get rid of it.
I know Shugs loves the name though. The Bo Dog.
Yeah, I just think that, obviously, like we're saying, not many people watch NXT. It's like for us, we get over here on TV. It's not that readily available in the States unless you've got the network, which we know everyone hasn't. So they need to do a better job. There needs to be, I don't know, because obviously the way they're introducing him now is not working. It hasn't worked. Oh, this is Adam Rose. He's big on NXT. And then he's coming out like we already know who he is. We don't know. We need to...
Also, Shugs, JBL is the freaking general manager of NXT. He barely puts over the talent, for crying out loud. Michael Cole been doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's only recently that they've been showing JBL on NXT a lot more. Oh gosh. All right. Anyway, let's move on from Bo Dallas, and let's move on to Cesaro versus RVD, match number 398. Steve, another match with these two, but was it just me, or did you think it was a little bit different due to Cesaro being on the back foot for most of the match?
Yeah, this match, it's becoming the new Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston from a few years ago, and I just can't get into anything RVD's doing at the moment.
Yeah, he's just samey. He's samey.
He hasn't changed since the year 1998. He's doing the same gimmick, same pointing to yourself, same theme music, same signature moves. Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't want to see that.
Nah,
I want to see someone that can just put on a good match with Cesaro,
and just
keep me interested.
Yeah, exactly. Nick, it's been a few months since they paired Cesaro and Heyman together now. Like, are you still liking them together?
Yeah, I do like them together. Paul Heyman has done a really good job playing over Antonio Cesaro in the last several weeks. The biggest concern that I have is Cesaro has not had a meaningful feud with anybody since hooking up with Heyman, if you want to count RVD, for crying out loud. Like you say, RVD is basically there collecting a paycheck. They ain't doing nothing with him. And see, like Van Dam is satisfied with that. I'm still very high on Cesaro. He's going to perform very well in Money in the Bank overall. And I think Cesaro is destined to do some big things coming up this year.
Yep, I have to agree with that, definitely. All right, so let's go on to Seth Rollins, the Seth Rollins promo. Shugs, Rollins comes out in a crisp black suit. And at this point, obviously we're all waiting to see whether he can hang on his own. What do you think?
I thought he did a good job. I thought, this was his moment. He's out on his own. He's had the heel turn, and You know, it wasn't like amazing, but it was really good. You know, I thought he did a good job. I don't think they would have been disappointed with what he did. You know, he said the right stuff. He was good on the mic. He didn't stutter. He didn't have to do like where Daniel Bryan does, where he like just starts shouting or whatever. He just like put his point across, and you know what he said was really good as well. So I just think that I think he did really well.
What was that line? I didn't sell out?
I didn't sell out. I bought in.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. It was a good line. You know, something to come out of the promo that's gonna stick in your head.
One thing I did like is that, you know, even though obviously he's a heel, he still called out Reigns and Rollins, you know, took off the coat, took off the tie, everything was saying come. Obviously, even though he kind of ran out, but I still like the fact that he actually called them out. And, you know, not much heels call them out, you know. Heels come out, they'll go to the ring and then they'll turn back and walk, but he actually was in the ring saying come out, blah, blah, blah. James, do you feel that we got all the answers in his promo that we needed, you know, as to why he did what he did? And can you see him excelling as a heel?
I can see him excelling as a heel. Like I said on my show, I did think I would have gone with Ambrose to start with, but then moved Rollins across. But he said he bought into what? Because they're saying they're not going to run with him as a member of Evolution, but then he's pictured with Triple H at the end of the show.
Yeah, that's a weird one because would I have him in Evolution? You know, because obviously we automatically thought that's what he was going to do, but now we're hearing that he's going to be on his own. You know, that's a whole different thing. You know, him on his own with Triple H maybe as, you know, as his advocate or backing him or whatever. But it's just going to be interesting to see what happens from here on in.
He's got to face one of them at Money in the Bank. He's got to.
Yeah, and I think he'll probably face Ambrose maybe.
Well, yeah, because if Ambrose is not in, but really, I think that he should be in the
Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Who Rollins
should be in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I
probably
agree
going to be a second match though, isn't there, for a briefcase?
I think he should. I think
he should win.
Yeah, me and Shugs have talked about this before. I think he should win. And I think they should push this guy to the moon.
Otherwise, what's the point? You know.
Exactly. All right. Let's go on to Paige versus Alicia Fox. Clearly now, Nick, WWE they've given up on Paige because they're just fully focused on developing Alicia Fox.
I wouldn't say that quite yet. I know they're very invested in developing Alicia Fox, and I think this is the right move because there is no real heel diva on the roster other than Stephanie McMahon, who is not an active wrestler. You know, but I don't think they completely give up on Paige yet.
Well, let's say Kevin Dunn has then. Dickhead.
Well, maybe Kevin Dunn don't like Paige's look because she's too pale. But anyway, Alicia Fox, I like the direction that they're going. They really, she's been very underrated in the last several years because she had the talent, she has the personality. I like where they're going with her. And plus, they need some credible opponents for Paige if they plan on pushing her later on down the road as Divas champion. She needs some credible opponents because as of right now, AJ Lee is definitely not coming back. Not for a while. She just got married, so we can forget about
Mr. and Mrs. Punk.
yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Punk, the guy who quit the company for like 6 months. But anyway, so they need some credible opponents for Paige to feud with later on down the road when they decide to build her back up as Divas champion. So I think this is a good road to go down from a storyline standpoint, from a booking standpoint.
Steve, what did you think of Fox's last outburst? Plus, you know, Xana got fucked up, got handed her P45, but she got back to the gorilla position.
I'm still really enjoying Alicia Fox, but I think there needs to be a bit more to her character than just sort of like freaking out every time she wins or loses. I don't know what it is, but I think it's getting a bit boring now to me.
So it's like becoming predictable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I suppose when it does come like that, they do need to start thinking outside of the box in terms of what she's gonna do. And one of the main ways that they kind of should do that is obviously not have her wrestle, but have a backstage segment, or you know,
have her attacking people backstage.
Yeah, or just spazzing out in wherever they are, or whatever. Like, or even have her just sitting in the crowd while the Divas are fighting, and just be in the crowd or whatever, just something different.
I like Alicia Fox, but I just personally think that if they need a new Master Heel Diva, then Summer Rae is the way to go. She can wrestle, and she's already near enough there.
Yeah,
she don't need any development.
They're confusing her role there at the moment. It's very, very confusing.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and I think that's, like Shug said before, when they don't know what they're doing, and then they bring out a movie, everything just becomes confused. Like, everything just gets messed up. She done Marine 4, now they're like, oh, should we move her face or whatever? Because on NXT, she's like a heel face, and on the roster, she's like a heel face. But anyway, she's a
few more.
One. Yeah. All right, segment 11, we got Swagger versus Santino. James Santino returns minus Emma. She was in Australia promoting WWE, but Swagger
Thank God.
Swagger got his chops slapped by Uncle Zebekiah. What was this the beginning of? Was it the beginning of something?
I don't know where they can go with that. I really don't see where they can go out minute with Swagger, because he's a former world champion who's getting mid-card matches against Santino, Joe Morella. But do you think it's funny on a note with Uncle Zebekiah that most of the people who got released were on his deportation list?
It's working.
It is working indeed. Shugs, I was on James's show in the week, and we can kind of discuss Swagger without Zeb. Do you think he could survive without him?
I don't think really, because he's not really a strong promo, and I suppose he's been there before and he's done all right, but I think he's the type of person that needs a manager. I think the Zeb thing would work with him, but it's just like, what's he gonna go for? The Intercontinental title, or he's gonna feud with Barrett? You know, where's he gonna go? Now that there's no World Heavyweight title, now there's just one title, then they still haven't elevated the Intercontinental title to where it needs to be. You know, so these like mid-card feuds don't even feel like they're mid-card feuds. They just feel like it's just filler.
It's just a massive mess. It's just a big, massive mess in that mid-card, and it just makes it hard to make any credibility within any of them.
There is no mid-card. That's the problem. There is none.
I don't think there'll be two titles again after Money in the Bank. I can just see now two different superstars grabbing a belt apiece.
I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens there.
You've got to bring down the whole fucking belt holder thing, haven't you? I don't think they can come off on their own. You've got to bring down the big gold buckle.
I mentioned earlier that there could be a swerve. My swerve is to go separate the world titles again.
That's what I just said, fella. The belts up.
All right, children. All right.
Saving his brain power for Beat the Clock.
All right, let's move on to the main event. Shield and Cena versus the Wyatt family. Steve, what was your thoughts on throwing Cena into this match?
I quite enjoyed the match. I mean, it's always magic when the Wyatts and Shield get together. And yeah, I had no problem. I mean, we hadn't seen Cena all evening, so it's pretty predictable that he was going to come out. And really enjoyable 6-man match, I thought.
Do you own any of Cena merchandise? Because I swear you're a closet Cena fan. Every time we're ripping on him, you're just like, well, I really like John. On first name terms with him as well.
My mate John.
Yeah, my mate John.
He's a great bloke.
Nick, Luke Harper, man. Like, this guy is such a breath of fresh air, right? This guy is gone out there every week, done things he doesn't have to do.
Yes, he does. I mean, going back to his days in the Indies where he wrestled for Chikara, IWA Mid-South, and AEW out of Chicago. I mean, this guy's a diamond in the rough. He really is. And if the day that they decide to bring away from the Wyatt family, I guarantee you this guy will be World Heavyweight Champion, hands down. He is
so good. Like, right now, he's one of my favorite wrestlers to watch because I'm waiting to see what this guy is doing next. The sweet chin he gave Cena in his face, I just don't know when he's going to do shit, and I just love it. And the crowd, I think he's getting over with the crowd as well, and they're giving him some more time while Wyatt's out, and it is just nice to see. He realizes soon he is going to have to come out of the shadow of Bray Wyatt, and he is doing things that is making that shit happen.
And you've been noticing he's becoming more and more promos in the last couple of weeks or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Wrong and future endeavoured.
Shugs, you got anything else
Well,
on your
no, I
notes?
just like you were saying. Like I think, like we were saying about Rollins. Really, the same things happened to him as has happened to Rollins. He's the one who's been in the ring wrestling night after night, night after night, and he's just been getting his own sort of style together, been doing his own shit, working on stuff, and then before all of a sudden they're thinking, well, this guy's the best wrestler in the Wyatt family. Just like all of a sudden we were like, fucking Rollins is the best one in the Shield. You know, just comes from nowhere because he's the one who's been working on it week after week, and he's the one who's been doing all the ring minutes.
Yeah, I love it. Oh my god, there was another move in there. Bray Wyatt caught Cena horribly. He caught him horribly into the Sister Abigail. I love that, running into the Sister Abigail. Bray Wyatt's got that down to a T now. That's a nice move. James, do you want to add anything else?
Oh, I thought Ambrose's performance in that match were epic. He deserved to shine. It shows that he can be a main event status on his own.
I can't wait for Ambrose to be by himself as a heel. I cannot wait. Definitely future main eventer. All right, that's the end of Raw, people. Let's go to the Raw rating. Shugs?
It wasn't a terrible show, but it wasn't great. I'll give it just a 6, standard 6.
Steve?
I'll probably go with 6 as well.
James?
7. I had a 7 for it. Thought Rollins promo alone were epic.
Nick?
I'll give it about 7.
7. Okay, general consensus. That's cool. All right, let's go to the Raw feedback. We have 2. So I'll start off on the Facebook page. We have Mr. Michael Cook. He says, Raw has gradually been getting better each week since that garbage Michael Myers episode with Brian, Bree, and Kane. I really liked Ambrose promo. He really looked like he wanted to kick shit out of Rollins. I think Seth Rollins looked like a rap main eventer when he was explaining his heel turn. Wyatt versus Shield and Cena match was good, and I like how Ambrose and Reigns were distancing themselves from Cena, letting you know that they are not their best buddies. Raw rating 7 out of 10. Shoots?
I haven't got a Facebook page, so
that's cool.
You'll have
That's
to do
cool.
it.
All right. Joshua Smith was really impressed by the Shield's promo, top notch, believable, dark. Loved the Wyatt versus Cena and Shield match. Ambrose looked amazing throughout. Poor Sandow. That guy must have tried it on with Stephanie or something to get his this punishment. I will note how amazing he is at playing all these characters, though. Another win for Bo Dallas, I believe.
Somebody's got it.
Yeah. Well, he didn't give a rating, but it's cool. That's all the feedback we got. Right about now, we're going to go to a break. We will be back with Smackdown in 60 seconds, Sugs Stunners, the Smart Talk Report with Nick Nuts and Magee, and the first round of Beat the Clock Trivia. Plus, in the words of, don't you miss it.
Be sure to listen to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast.
What?
Every Sunday with Kinny, Killa, and the Galdem Sugar Shugs.
Yes!
With all the news, views, and laughter that you want.
They like jet airplanes. Woo! They like long limousines.
Every Sunday, the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast on Podomatic, iTunes, and YouTube.
So why don't you choke on that, slap nut?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sunday Segue Wrestling Podcast. It's your boy, Kinny Killa, here. I am here with the Galdem Sugar Shugs, Master of the Top Rope Elbow, Steve Dawson, Nick Meltzer McGee, and Head of Talent Relations, James Powers. Right about now, we're going to go into Smackdown in 60 seconds, so roll with it, Shugs.
Okay, so we start off with Jey Uso against Eric Rowan. They show that Jimmy beat Luke Harper on main event. So then this one, they even up, and Eric Rowan wins quick time. We get Roman Reigns against Bad News Barrett, sorry. He's setting him up for the spear, gets attacked by 3MB, and then he beats 3MB, so this is probably a DQ match. Bo Dallas against R-Truth. Best part of this was when Bo Dallas dances to What's Up and starts singing, and then says to everyone, "What's everyone doing?" and then it was brilliant, I believe. Cesaro against Sheamus. Cesaro speaks in German. Heyman translates, says that he's there for a fight, and Sheamus doesn't fight. He uses wrestling moves like the inside cradle, and then happens to win the match using an inside cradle. Wyatt promo, and then we get Fandango against Adam Rose. Rose wins, and then Summer Rae is disguised as a Rosebud, and it looks like she is Red Rooster or some fucking gobbledygooker, and then she attacks Layla. Then we get Swagger against Big E. Match gets interrupted by Lana, but somehow that doesn't cause Big E to lose, and he still wins. Then we get the main event, Bray against Ambrose. Rollins turns up, distracts Ambrose, and then as he's chasing him through the ring, he gets caught with a running Sister Abigail, and Bray Wyatt wins. Fade to black.
Fade to black. Just want to note something that our writer Michael Cook has said to me. He said that on SmackDown, right, Summer Rae is talking about Layla and calls her a twat, and they replayed it on SmackDown. So I don't know if anyone noticed that, but please go and find it, because she calls her a twat. Amazing. That's not PG. And I'm surprised they didn't edit it out, so there you go. All right. Sugs Stunners.
Okay, so Jobber of the Week. Well, it could be anyone who got future endeavored this week, but I suppose we'll give a joint award to the two members of 3MB who are no longer with us, Jinder and Drew, RIP. Move of the Week. I'm going to give it to Running Sister Abigail on Ambrose by Bray Wyatt. And the rest of the week, I'm going to give it to Seth Rollins. He was out on his own, and, you know, he looked good in his suit. He didn't actually wrestle, but he was doing his thing. He delivered, exactly. He got his chance to run with it, and he looked good.
My man, Seth Rollins. Okay, so at this moment in time, I'd just like to have a moment of silence for 3MB. They're no longer with us. So just a moment of silence, please. And that's enough. Let's move on, people. Okay. It's now time for the Smark Talk Report with Nick Magee.
How's it going, everybody? Time for the Smark Talk Report with Nick Magee. Ladies and gentlemen, you caught the season finale of Legends House. Pat Patterson announced that he is openly gay. And in the same breath, Ellen Knight announced that he was straight. Also, on Legends House, you know, obviously I just said Pat Patterson announced he was gay, and you have not noticed, you saw the look on Roddy Piper's face? According to Wrestling Legends, Pat Patterson tried to molest Roddy Piper back when he was 21 years old. I feel like there's a Jerry Sandusky here. I think Piper has the right to file for agreements here. Very uncomfortable. Also, in other news, CM Punk and AJ Lee got married. Congratulations to AJ Lee and CM Punk. Let me give you the slow hand clap. And on the other hand, the ravishing Russian Lana said, that marriage won't last long until Punk sees me.
Oh, yeah. Amen to that.
And also, WWE has released 7 of their talent on today, and one of the talents that were released was referee Mark Harris. And you're saying, Nick, who the hell is Mark Harris? Well, I don't know who the heck Mark Harris is either, but according to reports that he blew a finish on a match on Monday Night Raw several months ago, and he also got into a Twitter argument with former referee Jimmy Corderas, and he's been having heat ever since. That's very great, WWE. To offset the cost on the loss of the WWE Network, you let go of a referee. Congratulations.
Like that cost them much.
Exactly. And other news, in the world of TNA had their round of series of live events where they had their live events at various baseball stadiums in the northeastern part of the United States. The attendance at one event was around 300 at minor league baseball stadium. Only 300 people showed up. And when you go down the road like an hour later at an indie wrestling show called Pro Wrestling Syndicate, they drew well over 1,000 people. Pro Wrestling Syndicate, TNA.
There we go.
There you go, right there. So, need me to say, if I was anyone who signs with TNA, you better get in line and fill out your food stamp card. That would be my advice. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a Smart Talk report.
There you go, people. Just to reiterate, Pro Wrestling Syndicate, they're getting big in the game. They've just signed Brodus Clay and Kurt Hawkins. They are literally just stealing all the talent. Watch out, Jeff Jarrett, Global Wrestling. You just better just make sure you just tap up these guys quick time.
And to throw that in, I believe Kurt Hawkins won't be able to wrestle for Syndicate until September 20th. Then when his 90-day complete clause expires.
Yep. Yeah, there you go. All right, people.
But Kurt Hawkins will be wrestling for Beyond Wrestling next Sunday.
He's not messing about. He's just like, there you go. You can book me here. I just need the money straight away, basically.
Right.
All right, people. That was the Smart Talk report. Right about now, it's what you've all been waiting for. It's the beginning of the Beat the Clock Trivia Tournament. Round 1. We've done a bit of shuffling, but we've got it. It's beginning right now. Nick Magee versus Steve. Oh, it's gonna be a bad one. All right, there you go. Get the coughs out. Get them all out. Get ready.
Smack talk is over.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right. So, I believe because obviously Nick is from America, he is our guest. So, Nick, you get to pick whether you have the A or B questions.
I'll take the B questions.
The B questions, okay. So, let's just run through it again. You will have a minute to answer as much questions as possible. You can pass your questions, and when you pass them, and I go through the rest of the questions, I will go back to your past questions and ask you them again. Okay. On 3, 2, 1. What year did the WWF change to WWE?
2002.
Correct. What year was Hulk Hogan inducted into the Hall of Fame?
2005.
Correct. Who was the last WWE ECW champion?
The last what, sorry?
WWE ECW champion.
Ezekiel Jackson.
Correct. Who did Kane beat to win his first IC title?
Triple H.
Correct. Name a member of the Disciples of Apocalypse.
Skull.
Correct. Who's next in the WWF title reign sequence? Warrior, Sergeant Slaughter, Hogan.
Oh, that was WrestleMania 8. Oh God, pass.
Former WWE referee Earl Hebner has a twin brother. True or false?
True.
Correct. Whose finishing move is called the money shot?
Val Venus.
Yep, and it's over. And it is over. There we go.
Hey.
Finish. Right, so Steve, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 7.
Boom.
7. All right. So Nick, you get 7 to draw, 8 to win.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're gonna be ready in 3, 2, 1. What year did the WWE buy WCW?
2003.
Nope.
04.
Nope.
God, I thought it was 03. 04.
You can pass. You can pass if you want.
Pass.
What year was Stone Cold inducted to the Hall of Fame?
2010.
Nope.
Pass.
What was the first? Who was the first superstar to win the Money in the Bank twice?
Edge.
Nope.
Oh, crap. CM Punk.
Yep. Who did Undertaker beat to win the Hardcore title?
Maven.
Nope. And it is over.
Oh no!
And it is
Yep.
over.
Oh no!
It is
Over.
over. It is over. It is finished. Steve Dawson, he has been victorious in the first round of the Beat the Clock Trivia Tournament, and he will go on to face either the winner of Tony Walker versus Big Evil Chris That is right. So, Steve, well
The machine
done.
lives on.
There, yeah.
The machine lives on.
He backed it up. He said, this Brit ain't losing to a bloody yank, and he has done it. Okay, so let's go through the questions. So what year the WWF changed to WWE? You got correct. No. Sorry, we're going through Steve's. We're going through Steve's a second. So yeah, Steve got that one right. Hulk Hogan in 2005. Ezekiel Jackson, Triple H. The only one he didn't get right.
Taker.
It was Undertaker. Yes. Yeah. It was Undertaker in the next sequence. Another member you could have had in Disciple of Apocalypse: Crush, Chains, 8 Ball. But you got Skull, so that was correct. So well done. You got 7. Nick. So what year did WWE buy WCW? James was right. It was 2001. What year did Stone Cold induct into the Hall of Fame? It was 2009. You got CM Punk right. Who did Undertaker beat to win the Hardcore title? It was RVD. Yeah. And that was it. You got 1. So,
hey.
Yeah. There you go.
Your cards revoked.
There you go. I don't think you have the authority to do that, James. But nevertheless, okay, there you go. Beat the clock. Round 1 over for Steve and Nick. All right, people. So that's it. End of the show. Next week we will have Big Evil Chris versus Tony Walker. Chris will be accompanied by his girlfriend Roxy. On the show, so it'll be an interesting one indeed. Yeah, so I'd like to thank all the way from America, with the Smart Talk report, Nick Magee. Please let the people know where they can find you, brother.
You can find me on Twitter at PW Smart Talk. You can find me on Facebook at Pro Wrestling Smart Talk, and you can check out my podcast at youtube.com/PW Smart Talk.
So, also, I can't forget the massive top rope elbow, Mr. Steve Dawson. Thanks again, bro. Let the people know where they can find you in your victorious ways.
You can find me at top rope elbow.
There you go. James, head of fan relations. Again, thanks for having me on your show. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, thank you. Let the people know where they can find you and your show.
You can like me on Facebook at James's Rambles and follow me on Twitter at JamesPowers33 and at James's Rambles.
Okay. I'm just glad to have my brother back, my partner in crime. Can't do this. Well, I can do this, but I would rather do it with a hashtag tech guy. The gal them Shugs, my boy.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Just your fans are happy.
Everyone's
they are
happy. The numbers are going to go through the roof for this episode.
Where can they find you on the Twitter? Now you have a Twitter.
They can't find me.
Because you're protected. Oh, God. They can't find you. He's ghosting on Twitter. He is ghosting. So he could do them secret burial services from behind the computer. Yeah. We're going to have, in the words of, will be The Rock at Royal Rumble 2000. Me and Shugs talked about it earlier on in the week. So it's a bit long, but I'm going to go through the Kinny Killa version. So, in the words of The Rock, finally, The Rock has come back to New York City. The Rock says this: Big Show, you actually think that you're going to win the Royal Rumble? Do you actually think that you're going to take the Great Rumble and throw him over the top rope? And do you actually think that you're going on to WrestleMania and becoming the WWF champion? Well, The Rock says this: he gonna wipe some monkey's ass with what you think. Big Show, The Rock says this: he's gonna go out there in the middle of the People's Ring Royal Rumble. The Rock's music plays. If you smell, and 20,000 of The Rock's fans all stand on their feet. Goosebumps on their arms. Electricity going through their bodies. The Rock says this: as God, as The Rock's witness, The Rock will win the Royal Rumble and go on to WrestleMania to become the best WWF champion there ever was. If you smell what The Rock is cooking, and if you don't like that, you can choke on it, slap nuts. Woo!